Okay, I just wanted to make this short video slash guide kind of on Tithe Farm and using the 25 plant method. After spending some time here and seeing so many people fail to even keep 10 plants alive, I thought it would be helpful for some to see the 25 plant method. So the first lap, all these tile markers, you don't need to worry about these tile markers on the first lap. They come into play on the later laps. You also see I'm using Greikoller's can. This isn't necessary. You can just use 12 regular watering cans if you haven't unlocked it yet. Um, so in the first lap, one of the key time saves that you'll need to do for the 25 plant method is you'll see every plant, I manually use the watering can on the plant. This is because if you left click the plant to water it, there's a 1 to 2 tick delay because of the seed planting animation, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when there's 25 plants, 1 to 2 tick delay each, you're looking at 15 plus seconds, which is the difference between your plants living and your plants dying. So that's very important to do. Um, you can just drag yourself between each one manually with the seeds, except for this 2 spots where you have to cross the center aisle. You have to manually walk, otherwise you'll get caught on the corners. So just keep going, manually using the plants and seeds. And then the second lap is when all of these extra tile markers will come into play. You can see I've written the word water for myself to remind myself to fill my watering cans, which is only at the end of harvesting, not each lap. So here's the second lap. Now where's the tile markers come into play? So you have to manually diagonally walk here, and then as soon as you see your character moving, you need to click on the plant. If you don't click on the plant immediately, if you wait till your character stops on the tile and then click the plant, there's about a 1 tick delay before you water it, which is fine as long as you don't do it every single time. You are allowed to make a couple minor mistakes with this method. There's some leniency. So you're manually clicking there, immediately clicking the plant, and then you don't have to manually walk back south or east since I have my camera pointed west through this whole time. You also need the world to yourself. Most people will use the center plots if they're using the 10 plant or 16 plant or 20 plant method. They'll be using the center plots, so you need a world to yourself to start. So make sure you have that. Going through here, you'll see these. You again have to manually walk. For these long gaps, you need to wait until you are 1 tile away from the marker before you click on the plant. And for the short gaps, you want to click the tile and then immediately click the plant. So on the second watering lap, here's where you can kind of get an idea of how many mistakes you made. If you are able to, if the first plant grows before you water your 5th plant, you've made too many mistakes. It's going to die. Yeah, and just abandon it. Just skip to the second or third plant when you're harvesting. And here you can see I got through 8 before that plant grew. So if you got 5 or 6 plants watered and then the first one grows, you've made some mistakes and you really have no error left. So you have to have a perfect final lap. If you get 7 to 8 plants left, you've made some mistakes, but you still have error left. You can make mistakes on your final lap. And if you get over 8 before the first one grows, which is what I did here, you've had a pretty much perfect first lap, and you don't have to worry too much. You know, you can make a lot of mistakes on your last lap, and you can even get caught on the corners, which is a pretty big delay, and you'll be fine. And then here you can also see these short gaps you actually don't have to manually click. You can drag, but just force a habit kind of manually clicking every time. And then again here, you'll see I manually do the diagonal walk here when I'm harvesting. And this is completely unnecessary, just force of habit from doing the laps to do the manual walk to kind of stay in that. You can just click on the plants and manually walk. It'll be a little slower, but it doesn't matter. You don't see the fertilizer on the ground in the corner there. You'll want to drop that as soon as you start. It's just extra weight for no reason. If you're 90 plus agility, you can kind of use the farmer's outfit for the whole time, which will give you a little extra XP. But if you're below 90 agility, you'll want to stick to the graceful outfit the whole time. So the harvest is pretty easy. The harvest is pretty low key. You'll see, you know, I have tons of time on these plants once I get to the second row because I've had a pretty perfect round, which I don't always, but I've had a very good round this time. You know, there's even so much time here. A lot of times I'll play an alt at the same time. I'll do mining, motherlode mine, or smithing dart tips on my other account. And there's enough leniency here to do that. And that's it. That's the lap. At the end, you'll just want to fill your watering can, if you, with the 1 or all 12 if you've got 12, and that's it. Go back to the start. This is the starting tile you want to be on, and that's it. It's tithe.